How's it going, guys? This is Mark Lopez with New Tampa Fit Body Bootcamp, and this is the final installment of our 5-day video nutrition course series. I decided not to film me eating dinner. My wife wouldn't allow me to videotape while in the middle of the dinner table, so we're moving on to the last snack of the night, some Planters mixed nuts. And this is more of an optional meal where if you feel like you're going to be hungry before dinner. I just usually just grab a small handful, 1 ounce of mixed nuts, usually almonds, macadamia, something like that, and pop it in my mouth about an hour before bed. Keeps my metabolism nice and high, nice and raised while I sleep, and it has 0 carbs, so it doesn't just get stored as fat. Instead, it has protein and healthy fats in it. That is also what you did miss for dinner. Today was a steak day for me, so the steak and mixed vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, some carrots mixed up. It was delicious. Anyways, our final video for today, wrapping it all up, putting it all together to get the best, most effective nutrition guidelines to get to those results and to hit those goals of yours. First off, your mindset. Okay, remember you want to put those good foods up on a pedestal, and those bad foods down low. Consider them as junk food. You're gonna have to make the sacrifice for some of those junk foods that you just crave day in and day out. Maybe a little bit here and there. 90% rule. Remember, you want to be just on point 90% of the time. Okay, it's better to be right 9 out of 10 times consistently over being 10 out of 10 for a short period of time. Also remember, food is your fuel, okay? The definition of calories is energy. So don't think of it as just clearing out your hunger or getting rid of it and this and that once or twice a day. You are literally doing it to continue your survival, and you want to do it in the best way possible, meaning small, frequent meals. Now let's just jump right into the proper nutrition guidelines and diet. These are the guidelines that you can take them in any restaurant in any country in the world, and as long as you follow this, you will be able to eat nutritious and healthy. Let's start off with breakfast. Breakfast, say you wake up at, say 7 in the morning, have breakfast. You want it to have a protein and a carb element. Remember, protein, a lean protein is your chicken, your turkey, your fish, or your egg whites. Those are the 4 basic lean meats and lean proteins. And you want a complex carbohydrate in with that too. Complex carbohydrates will be your whole grain breads, pastas, or cereals. Also, oatmeal is a great choice, and any rice, but that'll be for later meals. Moving on, about 3 hours later, you want to have a nice light snack. The guidelines to this aren't too crazy. Just keep it low in fat and with complex carbohydrates. If you want to have a sugar at this time, a piece of fruit is perfect this time. It's still early in the day and your metabolism is nice and high and will use up those sugars right away. The next meal, 3 to 4 hours later, around say 11 a.m. to noon, you want to have lunch. Make sure it's portioned, and what that means is eating until you are not hungry, not eating until you're full. Okay, you still want your lean proteins in there, you want your carbohydrates in there. Now's a good time to have some vegetables and some fruit, a little bit of fruit also. This is also the time I like to get a little cheat in, nice little lunch. So if you remember my Subway meal, did have a bit of a cookie. Ate half, gave the other half to my daughter. Next up is the second snack of the day. And what this is usually, this is also another option. I mean, not necessarily an option, but it's something that isn't as particular as to the guidelines. I ended up having the second half of my Subway sub. And also notice, guys, that a foot long for a lot of you is more than enough throughout the day. I tend to eat higher calories because as a personal trainer I do maintain an active lifestyle. So eating something like that is just enough to maintain my weight as opposed to try and lose weight. So even maybe a half of a 6-inch sub broken up, would be perfect for some of you guys. Next up, that will be your last carbohydrate meal. You want it, within 5 hours of going to bed. that's when you want to stop your carbohydrates, because at that point, anything after that will just get stored as body fat because it will not be used for energy while you sleep. For dinner, you want a nice protein. Fats are okay, but keep it limited, of course, because fats are more calorie dense than proteins and carbs. So for every gram of fat you take in, you're taking in 2.5 times the calories of any protein or carbohydrate food. So proteins, fats, and plenty of vegetables. Just fill your face up with vegetables, low in calories, and nice and high in fiber. And like I said, last meal optional is a little small ounce of nuts. Works perfectly. Either that or I'll do 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Just protein and fats, nice and healthy, and then we begin again. Couple things to remember. Just remember your reason, okay? Why is it that you're here watching this video right now, listening to what I have to say, okay? Whether it is to drop 15 to 20 pounds for yourself, okay, for someone else, whatever you're doing it for, remember that reason, okay? Keep thinking of that every time you take a meal and say, oh, I don't want to eat this or this and that. It is a lifestyle. It is forever. This isn't some temporary thing that you're just going to try out for a bit. You're going to try out eating healthy, get down to the weight, and then start picking out again. You don't want to get into a cycle of results and then back, and then zero results back into no results. You want consistent results, and you want to be fit forever, okay? That's just about all the time I have here today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this 5-day nutrition course. I tried to make it as entertaining as possible while also as informative as possible. Remember, if you're watching this, you are one of my clients, so you have unlimited support through me, either through email, phone, or text. My email address is lopez.fitness@yahoo.com. My personal cell phone number is 813-843-5294. Make sure you keep looking up at the nutrition guide. That will have your basics of certain tips, nutrition menu, as well as a shopping list of foods that you should pick up in order to have this work in the best way possible. Other than that, you guys have an awesome day. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you at boot camp.